You plan to testify in your trial in New York?
Yeah, I would testify, absolutely. It's a scam. It's a scam. That's not a trial. That's not a trial. That's a scam.
We have an unprecedented situation today. It is the first criminal trial of a former president. That former president is Donald Trump. And indeed, jury selection starts today in the first of 4 criminal trials. This is a big, big deal. And if you believe that this is the beginning of Trump's path to prison, it starts with this. It starts with jury selection in the first of 4 criminal trials. Whether there is prison at the end of the rainbow here certainly remains to be seen. If there is to be prison, the path would start with, can Trump get jurors in New York acceptable to him and to his lawyers? Trump wanted to make history. And indeed, there has never been a president who has been criminally tried. We talked about those arrests of former presidents, but never have we seen a president criminally tried. And the trial really is going to set a new precedent in American politics, where a former president is actively involved in a criminal trial while campaigning for re-election and is, although he has not yet officially been made the Republican nominee, that will happen at the RNC over the summer. He is the de facto and presumptive Republican nominee. What are the legal boundaries? What is the level of resilience that is required for Trump to go from 4 days a week of trial, I guess they get Wednesdays off, to campaigning and rallies and all of the cult stuff that he is doing? And there are people who are minimizing the significance of this trial. And I know that there are those who say this is less serious than the other trials because it involves a porn star, at least loosely so. But the truth is that there is election interference here and campaign finance violations at stake. If Stormy Daniels, rather than have accepting a hush money payment, which appears to have violated campaign finance laws, if Stormy Daniels had come out 2 weeks before the election and told the story of what happened, it's conceivable that the outcome in 2016 would have been different, meaning that Trump would not have selected 3 anti-choice Supreme Court justices, meaning that we would have Roe v. Wade today. So for those saying, this is the weakest of all of them, we might have Roe v. Wade today were it not for the alleged criminality that will be adjudicated in this trial. So let's not minimize it. This does all revolve around these allegations that in order to pay off Stormy Daniels so that she would shut up, Trump falsified business records, potentially interfering with the election process. And that's a really, really big deal. The backdrop here, of course, is that Donald Trump is continuing to flip out on social media and say, it's all unfair. It's all crazy. They're coming after me. We are going to look at some of those comments momentarily. Donald Trump asked over the weekend or Friday, do you plan to testify at this trial? As usual, Trump said he would testify. He has said this many times. He never does unless he is forced to by the other side. Trump almost certainly will not testify here in his defense, but he says, yeah, sure. Take a listen.
You plan to testify in your trial in New York?
Yeah, I would testify, absolutely. It's a scam. It's a scam. That's not a trial. That's not a trial. That's a scam. If you read Jonathan Turley, if you read Andy McCarthy, if you read the legal, they said there's not even.
Trump's like, if you read, which, by the way, I don't read. Trump always says he would testify. He plans to testify. He never testifies. And we are also going to be looking at the reaction of the Republican Party to this. Here is Senator Katie Britt wearing a large cross necklace across her chest and still using that very disturbing, affected voice that she used for the State of the Union response. Here is Katie Britt, Republican senator on Fox News, dismissing this entire thing. She just doesn't care. And many Republicans are of the same mind.
So, Senator, you're a legislator, but you're also a lawyer.
Yes.
Do you feel like the president can get a fair trial here in New York?
No, I mean, look at what we're seeing. This is the left continuing to melt down over Donald Trump.
This is the left.
They are obsessed. I mean, there is a reason both the federal prosecutors and state prosecutors said we are not going to move forward with this. And then you have Alvin Bragg enter into the arena and want to make a name for himself. People know that. People are sick of the two-tiered system of justice that we're seeing.
We are sick of the two-tiered system of justice, but it's not the one she thinks exists. It's the one Ali Honig described to us last week.
And I think that the more the media can talk about this, which we're going to see them do, then the less they have to talk about what a disaster this country is under Joe Biden. They know people want Donald Trump back in the White House, and they absolutely cannot stand it.
Remember, the people who never, ever, ever gave Trump 50% of the vote, those are the people that she says obviously want Trump back in the White House. This is going to be a story throughout these trials. Covering the no matter how you cover these trials, even covering them as witch hunts, is putting in the minds of voters, this guy might just as likely be to be behind bars as in the Oval Office. Is this really who I want to vote for? So the approach that they're going to take is to go after the media outlets and saying, even the fact that this is being covered, Trump's criminal trials, which of course they are. We've never had a president in a criminal trial, never mind 4. The fact that media outlets are covering the trials is all to cover up the disasters of Joe Biden. That's what they're going with, and you're going to hear it time and again. It would be journalistic malpractice to ignore one of the biggest stories, arguably, of the political world in the last 100 years, the multiple criminal trials against a former president for the things he's accused of doing. This morning, minutes before arriving in court, Trump flipping out. Let's briefly talk about that. I used to get a ton of spam calls and text messages and email spam, and I hate wasting time screening that stuff. But here's a little secret that has cut way down on spam. Our sponsor, Incogni. Incogni sends a notice to all major data brokers demanding your personal information be removed from their databases. And Incogni will even follow up with each data broker to make sure your information is gone and will keep you updated at every step. Data brokers are legally required to comply. If no one is sending the requests on your behalf, your personal info just stays online. It's not just your name, phone number, and email. It can include addresses, internet browsing history, and anyone can access it. Scammers, stalkers, your ex, your employer, even the government, NSA, FBI, who buy data in bulk and can keep tabs on the websites that people visit. I can tell you, it's liberating not getting so many random calls and messages anymore and knowing the government and potentially wacky people no longer have access to my sensitive data. My audience gets 60% off. Go to incogni.com/Pacman. Use the code Pacman. The link is down below.